Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching You, Season 4, Episode 5.
The Fox and the Hound.
Can a show be too good?
It can.
It's so much fun. There's plenty to talk about. I don't know where to start because a lot happened.
Mhm.
And also, I just want the rest. But March 9th is not that far.
No, it's 1 month. We'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. So, it's Rhys.
It's Rhys. He admitted it to Joe. If he's doing that as some kind of gambit, that's like weird.
But do we know what his actual plan is? His actual goal?
I think he just wants to be mayor of London.
And he's killing these people so that he can
have
respond publicly
platform
to it.
Yeah. But I also think he hates them.
But it's layers.
Yeah.
Because he was going to frame Joe/Jonathan
for Malcolm's
murder, and then he just lucked out in framing a serial killer,
I guess.
So he's kicked it up a notch.
Yeah. Well, I think he thought that he and Joe could be partners, but Joe came on too strong and was just trying to out Rhys, and so he was like, "Well, fuck you then."
I'm curious what the world where they are partners would look like. It can't happen because Joe is actually terrible.
Yeah, actually
literally
so terrible.
The worst. And he doesn't think he is the problem. Is it me?
Yeah. No, he for sure believes he's morally superior. And he has so thoroughly convinced himself that he would have never killed anybody if they didn't make him do it. By threatening him.
Fool me 6 times.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those types of...
But I think that's what's so fascinating about him as a character.
I would think it's something I'm putting out there.
Well, but that is what's so fascinating about him as a character, is he so fully, truly believes that he is not only the wronged party, but actually, like, a hero, that he doesn't really... He can't, like, flip the switch back.
Mm-hmm. So... Picking up where we left off in episode 4, Kate has stumbled upon Gemma's body. Are we taking all of... I guess you're pretty much taking at face value that it's Rhys and that...
I'm not...
So do we think Rhys killed Gemma?
I mean, he was already out there at the country
hiding
house.
In the woods, I guess? Or in that dungeon that he is certain that no one knows about. Even though there's
it's
like
directly under
it's
the
directly
house.
Under the house, and there's a hatch like just right outside that Kate was very easily able
because
to find.
I thought it might be like either like attached to like some sort of outbuilding or like in the woods. Yeah, and it apparently was not. So
I mean, again, palatial, but it was kind of funny, and so maybe he was just living there. I don't know. So we're gonna go with that he did kill Gemma, and then Kate stumbled upon her.
Well, and he very obviously killed Malcolm as well, if he was gonna frame Joe.
And then Joe came upon Kate. I feel silly recapping it. I don't know why. It just was good.
It was really good.
Like all of the dialogue was well written.
Yeah.
It was well acted. It all checked her suspicion of him, his sort of. Not really suspicion. Well, no, his suspicion of her and their uneasy truce. And then on top of that, we got physical comedy with Gemma's body. Falling
out the bottom of that tacky chest.
Whoomp, and then shoving her out the window.
So funny.
While Adam blows rails.
I guess good on Eve Austin for like being a sport about that.
Phoebe still manages to be the best.
Yeah. I'm
suspicious of at most I'm suspicious of, and at least I'm terrified for her well-being.
Yeah,
because I think she needs to be protected.
Here's the thing: the only 3 remaining people I'm not any level of suspicious of are Blessing, Sophie, and Connie. There's literally no way. They were so obliterated at the end of this party. I also just don't believe they like have that level to them.
That's one of my favorite.
The rest of them, I think, could be involved at any level.
That's one of my favorite tropes. Head on over to our Patreon and join the $3 Watchers tier if you want to watch us watch the episode.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that, but also we do throw out theories and stuff.
Yeah.
And I hit a talking point of mine that I hit frequently, and I feel like I shouldn't say it so cavalierly, but it's something that I notice in media where I think that we have an idea of how humans will behave in certain scenarios, and I don't think that idea is always accurate.
Yeah.
I think that people are weirder and shadier than we like to think they are, and I think people are more inclined to get involved in this type of shenanigan than we would think. And so this show hits on that a lot. It really, because another show that I found very interesting was Dead to Me, where they played with that dynamic. Blessing and Sandra?
Sophie.
Blessing and Sophie and Connie. I love how blasé they kind of were about the whole thing.
Well, I think they were still tripping.
As if they were sober, they would be hysterical.
No, but not hysterical, but I think they wouldn't have been so blasé.
I think Blessing would have been pretty. I think that is her baseline.
She is a literal princess.
It
makes sense, yeah.
But I just sort of like that they were like, because Rawld overhears Kate and Phoebe casually discussing the murders.
Well, Phoebe is on benzos. So she's real mellow.
Well, she's also distraught because she was just sort of...
Well, that's why she's on benzos, because she broke up with Adam.
Turned down by Adam because he, Joe... Joe admitted that Adam was hiding something from her, a kink, and that she was very excited and intrigued by that. And she was very ready to participate in this kink. And
she, barely blinked at... She just was like, can I ask why?
I'm good and hydrated.
You like to be peed on. And then she was like, I drank a lot today. We're solid. And she kept on being like, what about pegging? Can I peg you? And I'm like, I feel like that's your kink.
There's a really funny South Park run where Kyle's dad is doing something terrible and Sheila finds him. And so he pretends that it's water sports. He's ashamed of it.
Okay.
And so she's ready to go. And he's just oh yeah. And that's just what it was giving me. Because Adam was just oh boy.
Can't wait for that pee.
And so anyways, that's one of the reasons I was laughing so hard at that.
Okay.
And that was totally worth that diversion. But basically she breaks up with him because she figures out, because she's fucking the best one, that it's imperative to his kink that the person doing it has to be beneath him.
Yeah.
And since he wasn't into her doing it, it means that he doesn't consider her...
Or he doesn't consider himself her equal. Yeah.
It was 3D chess on her part.
But it was also it was a nice insight into Adam, understanding his whole deal.
I want to believe that he actually does like her and not just her money.
I think he truly likes her, but I think he's trying so hard to hold on to her because he needs the money.
I also think it could be, this is giving him the benefit of the doubt, but I think he could want to like her.
Sure.
He could want to be, because that's easier than his other.
At the very, he likes her for sure. Whether or not he loves her enough to marry her.
Oh, he is canonically pansexual. I had forgotten about that. And she finds it to be one of his more charming attributes. But so anyways, Rawld overhears Phoebe and Kate talking about it. So then he goes and gets Joe and tells the rest of them that Joe is the Etheridge killer. And then they start playing the most dangerous game.
Only Rawld is really playing. The rest of them are like, sure, just carry on.
I've actually, I mean, he's they're all awful, but it's I've liked Rawld more the more we go. I find him
more psycho he gets. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he also is insisting that Joe's obsessed with Kate, and I was like, what about all the upskirt photos? And then Rhys later was like, he's got all those upskirt photos of Kate.
So basically, the house halfway burns down, everybody escapes, including Roald and Joe. And
I like your vibe that he's gonna have weirdly gotten them on his side a little.
That's what I think is going to happen, is I think that Joe is going to have gotten the rich on his side, and I think they're going to go
Except
after...
he just shit all over Kate's feelings.
Well, because she's trying to... Because Joe's the worst.
No, he is male crazy putty. He is that good in bed that these women just lose all grasp of their brain function, and they're like, I gotta sit on that psycho dick again.
But it's like he's actually just like, I'm too bad for you. I'm bad news. I'm dangerous. And so he pushes her away.
He also doesn't want her to find out more about him, because he is also still in like a weird spot with his own stuff.
Sure, but I mean, at the rate they're going, that could only make their relationship stronger.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's going to end up, I think we're going to an enemy of my enemy is my friend place.
Okay, yeah.
And I think he's going to end up getting, because also, I mean, imagine a fresher hell for Joe than relating with the rich people. Do you know what I mean? Like being on their side.
So when I was rewatching the previous seasons, and he was like, if Los Angeles was purgatory and suburbia was hell, and I was like, fuck yourself. Like, I believe that Los Angeles is not maybe the coolest place to live, but like, I like suburbia. I kind of like that it's the same everywhere. I don't know. He's just so stuck up.
Who the hell is Hugo?
One of the help, probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, he was the Scottish bodyguard. He was one of the bodyguards.
Okay.
Yeah.
His IMDb photo is
shirtless and so freckly. My goodness, the freckles. Craig McGinley.
McGinley.
McGinley. I mean, it's probably pronounced the same.
I said what I said.
Whatever.
So the people do know Gemma, her fucking picture on the news. I'm gonna pour one out.
So good. Yeah, I do think we should
call her a Muppet.
I do think that we should give props to Eve Austin. Like, way to take that role that is unforgiving.
Just the makeup.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we really need to hit?
Well, Rhys has officially announced his candidacy for mayor. Not really.
I started to say this and I didn't, but I loved Blessing and Sophie and Connie hunkered down with the like mace and the axe and the like the medieval weaponry.
Shields. Well, and they just put a sword on Connie, like, and wrapped his hands around, because he was out, like fully out.
Well, and then when Kate went to go after them, she grabbed the axe, and I think that was fun. It's always a good idea, if your writers are good, to get all of your characters isolated alone.
Totally.
Preferably somewhere palatial with gorgeous clothes.
Yeah. And one or more hidden passageways, if possible. Yeah.
So, Love it. Loving it so far. Can't wait for the second half. I'm hoping it is a little bit
I'm sure it will be cohesive.
I don't want it to feel like a season 5.
No, there's so many open, like, loose threads that I think it will be very.
So having a fantastic time, and I'm gonna be brave and come out pro the divide. Pro breaking
for the seasons,
because I think it'll keep it in the consciousness for longer, and I think frankly there's probably people waiting till March
to watch all of it. Yeah,
so I agree. Yeah, let us know what you think, and like and subscribe. Thumbs up does the best for us and helping us through the algorithm. And we have a Patreon and Cashapp and Venmo and all that stuff. And you have a good time.
Bye.
I always love how it's like we're 6 years in and I'm like, this is my first day.